Good morning, team. Today is October 3rd. Looking at the overall economical calendar over here, you can see we have some PMI data coming out at 9:45. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. We have some ISM numbers. We do have a Fed speaker speaking at 3:10. Going into tomorrow, we have Fed speaker speaking at 7:15. We have some basically factory information, another Fed speaker speaking at 11, and another one at 1. Wednesday, we have ADP employment report. That's going to be a major one. We have PMI coming out at 9:45 on October 5th. Another Fed speaker at 4. We got jobless numbers on Thursday. We got three more Fed speakers, and we got non-farm payroll, unemployment rate, a whole bunch of information coming out on Friday. So definitely want to pay attention to what's going on this week. Make sure you guys look up Market Watch and look up economical calendar and Fed speakers. Very important information, especially as a day trader. You don't want to be into stock when basically major news is going on that can affect your trade. Going into the charts, looking at Meta has basically been on a steep drop. This is the 4-hour chart. Looking at Meta, it seems to be finding some type of support around this 134 level. RSI is more on the oversold side. MACD is crossed up. We need another bullish confirmation, which is going to be a break of the trade line at 137. Then we can start pushing up towards those 143 levels. If we do break this 134 level, we could start sinking down towards 132 and maybe even a lot lower. Next stock we're going to talk about is Amazon. Amazon has been on a steep sell-off, but it seems to be finding some type of support as well. Still on the bearish side of the chart, meaning below the trade line. We need another confirmation above that 114. Then we can start pushing up towards 118. If not, and we confirm basically a possible breakout to the downside, you can see that we basically bounced off this 112 level multiple times, and basically that has acted as our support. So if it continues to act like our support, then we break the trade line. We need to break 114 towards that 118, like I said before, or the break of 111, and then we can start basically going back down towards these 109 levels and possibly lower. So let's look out for Amazon as well this week. Make sure you set your alerts, especially if this is a stock that you're interested in. Next stock we're going to talk about is Tesla. Tesla is actually down big this morning. If we look at Tesla, Tesla is basically sitting around that 247 level. So definitely want to watch to see how Tesla performed this week. It's a little bit more on the oversold side. So I want to see how it's going to act at the bell. Typically, when stocks are oversold, that means it's more in favor for a possible bounce. So this is still the 4-hour chart. Let's drop it down so it's a 20-day chart as well, so you can see things a little bit clearer. You can see 248 is the lowest that Tesla has basically hit on 9:30, and then basically started going sideways. So September 30th, that's what I'm talking about. So want to see if we basically continue to hold this 248 level. If we do start to bounce, want to see a break above 259, then we can start basically pushing up towards those 270 levels. Watch out for that. 270 was a rejection zone as well on this basically decline in pattern. If we do break that 248, even though we're oversold, we could stay in the blue side of the RSI and come now, which is going to be a high risk short position. So I do not advise it. But if we do bounce and then the RSI is reset itself, and then basically we come back down, break that 248, then we could possibly start going down towards those 243 levels over here, maybe even that 239, which seems to be the major level. You can see that we basically rejected it hard before. See, we went into that 248 level, came back down, right? 248, that 248 level has acted as support. So definitely want to watch to see if we come back down towards that 248. It does have earnings coming up October 19th. So some stocks are going to be having earnings soon. So start to watch these stocks to see how they perform before earnings. Earnings is always a good gauge after the companies announced to find out to basically how these companies have been doing the past few months. Maybe this is the game changer that we've been waiting for, or we may see some uncertainty. We may see some companies that are basically uncertain with how things are going with the overall market. Last but not least, looking at SPY, right? Looking at SPY, one of our favorite stocks to trade. You can see overall we've been on that downward trend. We rejected that SMA on the 20-day, on the 4-hour over here, and we've been basically on a bearish pattern. Let's jump over to the 1 year on the SPY, since this is a very important stock, right? Looking at the 1 year, you can see that we rejected that 1 year SMA line over here, started overall on that downward trend. In no way, shape, or form have we basically broke the 1 year trade line. That is when you want to get fully bullish on this stock, is when we start to break that 1 year trade line. You can see below, we've been trading below it all this time, going on a downward trend, and we need to break above it to get bullish. So going with that being said, around like 370, we can start getting bullish if we start to hold above that. So watch out for 370 in the next upcoming days, or that's on the long-term scale. Short-term scale, want to watch for the break of 360, then we can start basically pushing out towards 366, and that 370 line is being represented over here as well. So you can see 370 was a major rejection zone, which it was rejecting that basically overall 1 year trade line, and then we basically start to come back down. But we are getting a little bit more on the oversold side. We made a low of 355 on Friday. We're sitting at 359. So we want to see if this bullishness is going to continue. We always need a possible bounce, even if we want to go lower, to reset these charts. So watch for the break of 360 towards that 366, possibly higher. 355 is the lowest that we've been so far on the 180-day and the 20-day. So you want to jump over towards a longer period of time. So the 1 year, we actually lower than the 1 year chart. So I have to jump over towards the 3-year chart. So if we break that, 1 second. If we break that 355, right, we could possibly go lower than that, right? So have to look over in this zone over here. You can see that 355 zone is sitting over here. So that has acted as a major support back in 2020. But if we break that, then we can start basically going down towards 340. So watch out for that. Looking at the overall charts on the RSI, you can see we're a little bit more on the oversold side, jumping over towards even the 5-year chart. Jumping over towards the 5-year chart, you can see that we are trying to hold below the 5-year SMA. So that is a bearish sign, and we have a little bit more room on the 5-year. So let's see what happens. But on the short term, I do think we may have a possible bounce today, right? And then we have to see what happens from there. Is this bounce going to hold? Are we going to try to break this 370 level this week and continue up higher, right? And have maybe like a short-term bounce? Or are we going to reject this 370 level, or even reject a 180-day and then start coming down lower from that? So let's see how this market goes this week. Are we going to have extreme weakness, or are we going to have some type of bullishness? Comment down below if you're a bear or bull this week. I'll see you in the next one. Later.